Solid state batteries is the holy grail of electric vehicles. This will allow us to travel further, reduce cost in theory, with a faster charging battery and one that is far safer without thermal runaway. And over at Reuters, breaking today, Toyota roll out solid state battery EVs globally in just a couple of years. Sounds like 2026? They might be moving up the timetables. Let's get into it. There is a huge investment summit going on in India right now, and a lot of the automakers are down there talking about the future. And one of the Toyota executives from India has just spilled the beans saying that solid-state battery electric vehicles from Toyota are coming in just a couple of years. So we're going to dig into this. If you're new to the channel, my name's Kirk. I talk about industry auto news. If you're into that, smash the like button, subscribe for more. Tonight, if everything goes well, I mean, we could be in the hospital having a baby, but if not, and I'm home, I will be live streaming what's going on from the Tokyo Auto Salon. Akio Toyoda will be giving a press briefing on upcoming Gazoo racing cars and maybe the Lexus LFR. I'm holding out for that. But let's get back to the article. Last year, we were told that Idemitsu Kozan and Toyota would team up and produce solid-state batteries together. And in that press briefing, it says 2027 through 2028. Now, that coincides with another roadmap that they have for batteries. And the spreadsheet I made from that image down here made a little bit more sense to me if I put in my own spreadsheet. 2027, 28, 28. They said 549 miles on the when I did my conversions, that's the EPA cycle, but we're getting different numbers now from India. They're saying 750 miles. Now, that's on a different cycle. Who knows what cycle he's referring to? And it could be the WLTP cycle. And if that's the case, it's going to be definitely less than 750 miles, potentially up to 650 miles. That sounds too good to be true, as well as charging in 10 minutes. Now, we know solid state batteries should be able to do that. So I'm not... This doesn't sound too good to be true, but the mileage estimate sounds way too lofty to me. Now, here's an interesting turn of events. At the start of the summit on Wednesday, Japan's Suzuki Motor, Suzuki's huge in India, they said its Indian subsidiary and Toyota's joint venture with Maruti Suzuki would export the group's first battery electric vehicle to Japan and Europe, making it the first time for Maruti to export it to its parent company's home country. That is really surprising. I thought that the Jimny was imported in Japan from India, but maybe not. And with Europe potentially cracking down on Chinese imported EVs, bringing them in from India is a workaround unless they eventually start hitting them with import taxes, because they would be a lot cheaper to produce in India in theory compared to locally in Europe. With these claims being made at the investment summit in India, I would not expect it actually to be out in 2026. They're trying to drive investments. Okay, so of course they're going to inflate their numbers and maybe not give the most accurate timelines. To douse the hype flames on solid state batteries, back in November, we did get an update on mass production of solid state batteries, and it's close, but not in the mass production sense. Production's close. So even by 2030, we're not going to see high volumes of solid-state batteries. The first batch of solid-state batteries for Toyota will likely be enough to supply only a couple thousand EVs. That sounds like flagship territory for Lexus, in my opinion. Mass production starting in 2020 or 2030 will support just over 10,000. You're telling me you have the holy grail of battery technology, and if you're able to bring it to the market faster than anyone else, they're going to have it limited to 10,000. They need to find a way to mass produce this. 10,000 by 2030 is not good enough, not even close. They could be passed by a lot of their rivals by then. So going back to the spreadsheet, I am not excited for solid-state batteries. I'll probably be, let's say it's 15 years from now, I'll be about 50 years old when solid-state batteries are maybe seen at a more normal price point and higher availability. In the near term, what can I get excited for? Since I'm ruling solid-state out of, even though we might see it, it's just not going to be available. It's kind of like Toyota's plug-in hybrid Prime technologies here in the mid 2020s. It's just so difficult to get your hands on that. We have a couple of new battery technologies of Toyota that are going to be exciting and available at a mass scale here in the near future. All right, so right now we have the BZ4X's prismatic batteries, essentially co-developed with Panasonic, right? It gets about 250 miles of EPA range. It's nothing to write home about. Even though they just updated the BZ4X, make sure to check out my video on it. It's still not a vehicle I would recommend unless you get crazy good tax credit on it and other incentives. But if you're just driving around town, that's great. This is what's coming down the hatch with the new platform in 2026. It'll first be on a Lexus, but it'll soon trickle into Toyota models soon thereafter. But this is a high performance battery and it is much smaller. So it was only, when I saw it in Japan, it was only about this thick. That's about, I don't know, 3 to 4 inches thick. And it looked definitely futuristic compared to most battery packs I've seen in current EVs, including the eGMP platform from Hyundai. That small battery pack should allow for over 500 miles EPA range, probably on the LFZC when that is a production car in 2026. That sounds incredible. Now, mass production of more affordable batteries, the lithium iron phosphate, the LFP batteries will be coming in 2026 as well. Expect these to be on more affordable Toyota models, up to providing more affordable and better range and faster charging than what we see on the BZ4X. So that's worth getting excited for as well. Really drive down the cost and the burden of entry, I guess you could say. Electric vehicles will start with the mass production of that bipolar LFP battery. Then in 2027, 2028, we get a second generation of this high performance prismatic battery where they turn it from a single polar setup to a bipolar setup. And we get a big jump here from about 500 miles to about 550 miles, and cost also comes down on it. So that these batteries right here are going to be the ones to get excited for, and probably you'll see in most Toyota and Lexus EVs from 2026 to probably 2035. And we won't see next generation solid state batteries at a high scale probably until 2035 and beyond. Unless something changes, that's where I'm putting it. Yes, we're going to see prototypes and we're going to see flagship models and high performance cars that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars under the Lexus flag that will have solid state batteries. And maybe we see some of that sprinkling in hybrid vehicles because Toyota has mentioned that they want to put solid state and hybrid to really improve the fuel efficiency on them. But for battery electric vehicles, I'm going to chalk it up to 2035 and beyond from Toyota's camp. Now, if someone comes out before Toyota on a mass scale with solid state batteries, then they're in scramble mode. Then they'll push it to the market faster, I would think. But who knows? Solid state batteries seem to be very, very tricky to not only produce with long lifespans, but also produce at a mass scale. So anyways, that was just a summary of my thoughts on Toyota solid state batteries. I don't want to get excited about them anymore after seeing India's investment day. Those numbers are just pie in the sky. And after seeing this article from Automotive News talking about, yeah, maybe they'll have just over 10,000 solid state battery cars sold in 2030. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I got other news coming down the hatch after this, talking about Subaru's EV plans. It's really ramping up for them, as well as Honda and kind of the aftermath. And we got more details with their Zero platform, but this video would be about 40 minutes long if I covered both of those. And so I'll separate them for you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And if you are available tonight, and if I'm available tonight, I will live stream Tokyo Auto Salon press briefing for Toyota Gazoo Racing and Lexus. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Peace.